How are we going, everyone? Well, it's time to get this cucumber down. It's been up here all season from summer. It's ripened beautifully. You can see it's starting to rot through, so it's well and truly ready to be harvested. And we're talking about the seeds inside, so come along and let me show you how I harvest my cucumber seeds. But folks, when it comes to collecting seeds from your veggies, most leafy plants have their seed pods on top, and they produce their flowers and they fall down. Like lettuce, for example, it's part of the thistle family. You've got those little fluffy bits on top of there. They actually just drop their seeds to the ground. But things like cucumbers and tomatoes, well, you've got to pick your biggest and most healthiest fruit. That wasn't there when it was ripening. Obviously, that's happened now. And this is one of the bigger ones. And this is a cucumber or seeds that were given to me from our friends down at the Dandenong Outlet. Her father, Mary's father, they're from Rhodes, and this is a seed or a cucumber that's been grown in their home village, in their hometown there for years. And he brought it down, I don't know how many years ago, and he gave me some seeds last spring, and I planted them and had a beautiful harvest out of them. These aren't available anywhere other than from Dandenong, and they're not selling them. In other words, we're the only ones that got them. We've got to populate them. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to start collecting seeds from these things here. Now you let them ripen to this full max, and you can see how it's discoloured. Sometimes they can go to the yellow, to an orange colour. So from a yellow to a sort of dark orange or a burnt orange colour. Either way, this is completely ripe, and what's going to happen now, if I didn't take it down and harvest the seeds, nature would do it for me. That's the beginning of it there. It'll start to rot through, bottom end will fall out, or the cucumber, because it was wedged in there, you could see where it was wedged, it's sitting on the bar frame there. If it had fallen to the ground, it'll rot out on the ground, and the bacteria would have kicked into it, or the microbes would have kicked into it and eaten it away. Then the seeds would have fallen in, and nature would have done its job. But now we're in the middle of it, so we're intervening, and we're going to try and collect them and harvest the seeds. Now, it's really simple. All you're going to do is cut it in half lengthways. And before I do that, the outer skin is actually a lot firmer or tougher than it is when it's in its green form. So you've got more of a leather jacket on the outside, but when you touch it, the entire flesh inside has gone really soft. You can see how it's sinking in when I'm pressing it like that. It's really softened up inside, and that tells me that the seeds are ready and ripe to harvest. So we cut down the middle. I didn't go all the way through yet. Very juicy. Oh, here we go. Just going to try and crack it open without cutting it right through. There we are. Look at all the seeds. Probably lost all these seeds. Now, how do you know which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones? Well, a real simple process, and this can be practiced with tomatoes as well, and other large sort of seed varieties. So what we do is just cut it in half, and you get a spoon, and we scrape this out. And while I'm scraping it out, I'm actually going to put it straight into the bucket here. You can use a bowl if you like. It's only got water in it. So we're removing the seeds as you would do when you're making tzatziki or garlic sauce. You don't put the seeds in the mix. So that comes out on both sides. Now, why the water? Well, it'll separate the viable seeds from the non-viable. And the way it does it, it'll take all the outer coating, the pulp, the gelatinous pulp on the outside of the seed, or that's connecting all the seeds together. So by putting it in the water, fermentation process will start. And over those next couple of days, because that's all you need to do, is approximately 2 days to allow it to sit in the water. It will start to ferment. That outer coating, that gelatinous coating, will dissolve away and blend into the water and clean the seed out, which will make the seed more viable at the end when it comes to germinating. Look, I've done it without using the water myself. I've basically run it in a sieve under a running tap or a running water and washed off as much of the pulp as possible. Not all of it, but enough. And I've had great success as well. But you know, if you want to be able to separate the good from the bad seeds, and not all seeds are good, you'll find the bad ones will float at the top of the bowl, or in this case here, the pot, and I can't grab this because that's all pulp in there. These good ones will float on top, and the bad ones will float on top. Let me correct myself. The bad ones will float to the top or stay on top, and the good viable seeds will sink to the bottom. But we're just going to leave this in here for a couple of days, and then in 2 days from today, we're going to tip out all the excess water and all seeds that are still sitting on top, because they're the ones, as we can see here now, that are floating, that if I was to grab, let me grab one that's floating, and I were to be able to assume, well, I should be able to say that these here are non-viable because they are almost hollow. You can't tell by touching. I was thinking that maybe I can, but no, you can't. So we're just going to lose all, it looks like all the bloody seeds aren't viable. Have a look at this. They're all floating. But you need to give it a couple of days, to be honest with you. So a couple of days, and if we go down at the bottom, there'll be seeds down at the bottom for sure. You know what, folks? I'm actually going to go and get a clear bucket so we can see the seeds properly from the side. I'll leave it in here for now, but when I get a clear bucket, we'll come back next time, and then you'll be able to see exactly what's sunk to the bottom and what's still sitting on top. So if you've got a cucumber in your garden or you've harvested one, well, I can tell you something, they're pretty much ready, and now's the time to harvest the seeds out of them. You need a couple of days of that, because after that, once we finish that, we've got to sit them on a piece of paper or baking paper to let them dry out, and they need a week to 2 weeks to dry out properly. And then you can store them or go straight into the garden and plant them. So, harvest your seeds, grow your own for starters. Try avoid getting F1 hybrids because sometimes they won't germinate or the seeds will be non-viable. They won't actually produce anything. So get the heirloom varieties. And this one here we haven't got available for you, but we've got other ones which are great. The Burpless are great. That's an heirloom variety of Burpless that we have. So you can get those seeds from there, harvest them, store them, and then you'll never have to buy seeds again. Or seedlings, because when you grow your own, self-germinated are the best. So harvest your seeds, enjoy your garden, and give them the good stuff. For those who are looking for a bargain, folks, well, our sale finishes tonight. So by midnight, all the prices are going up, and all those great specials that you can take advantage of will no longer be available. So shop online, vasilisgarden.com, and select click and collect. Or if you live in another state, sorry, we haven't got an outlet there yet. We'll get there soon enough, but you can still get it shipped out to your place. So great specials to be taken advantage of up until midnight tonight. From me, Vasili, Maresi.